Ooh, much better. Better. Those updates are good, but there's still more that are desperately needed to be updated. Shadowy Hasbro overlords, I hope you're watching. This is the top 10 most needed Black Series face scan updates. That's a lot of words. It's happening now. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, sometimes called Big Nerdy. You are the NWO, the Nerd World Order, and this is Face scan technology has been used heavily since The Last Jedi figures came out, but it has seriously gotten better and better with time. Seeing the new Qui-Gon Jinn and Mace Windu figures that came out in the Episode 1 packaging this year, it got me thinking, what other figures are left that need to be updated? It's clobbering time. Coming in at number 10 is Padme Amidala. So this was released in 2019 as part of the Red Line and was number 81. Timeline-wise, I think this actually is a face scan. At least it should be a face scan. Maybe they didn't get her permission. I don't know. But it does not look like Natalie Portman. As the only Padme figure in the entire Black Series line, this really needs to get done right. And once we have her face on file, we got a whole bunch of other figures we can do. Coming in at number 9 is Poe Dameron. All of Oscar Isaac's figures are hot garbage. Seriously, toy YouTubers like to use them as punching bags because they're that bad. He has had 2 releases, one in 2015 for The Force Awakens and then another one in 2017 for The Last Jedi. They look like people, just not Oscar Isaac. Some people will tell you they look like Steve Buscemi. Others will tell you they look like Ian McDermott. Personally, I think it's a chip off the Tony Danza block. Think about it this way. In The Last Jedi, if Leia's name was Angela, you would just hear Tony Danza continually going, "Angela!" Coming in at number 8 is Cassian Andor, released in 2016. He was part of the Red Line and is figure number 22. Make that 23. Cassian forever has the reputation of being one of the biggest peg warmers in the history of the Black Series. That is until the Last Jedi figures came out. This thing was everywhere. I'm pretty sure that Walmart literally has them stacked on pallets somewhere still. When it came out, it didn't seem like that bad of a figure, but it really hasn't aged well because it does not look like the actor whatsoever. In fact, I'd say the toy looks more Asian than it does like Diego Luna. This is the only version of Cassian we have gotten. I imagine we're going to get many more considering he has a show on the horizon. Coming in at number 7 is Han Solo, specifically original trilogy Han Solo. We've gotten a handful of Hans, try saying that a couple times fast, since the face scan started, and the results have kind of been a mixed bag. Bespin Han is open to interpretation. Sometimes I feel like it's a chip off the old block. Sometimes I feel like, who's that supposed to be? And then this year we got Endor Han, and that's perfect. That is the perfect plastic representation of Harrison Ford. I'd say it's up for debate whether we need to get Bespin Han redone, but what we definitely don't need to debate is that we need a new Han from 2 new Hans from A New Hope. First off, we have the Stormtrooper Han, which has the face that doesn't look like anybody. And then we also have the Cantina Han, which at the time, again, I thought this was really good. I'm like, hey, that looks just like Harrison Ford. Clearly, I was eating Tide Pods then or something. I don't know. It wasn't eating Tide Pods. Don't eat Tide Pods. That's a terrible idea, okay? Just to be clear. Coming in at number 6 is Kylo Ren. Clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, the best part of the sequel trilogy was Adam Driver's Kylo Ren. We've gotten a ton of figures of them, but most of them have the mask on. And the ones that don't have the mask on have been, well, lacking. The first one we got came out in 2016 and was, frankly, hot garbage. It was part of the Red Line and then was number 26 to be exact. A year later in 2017, we got figure number 45, which is definitely an upgrade, but it still doesn't quite look like Adam Driver. In fact, this looks more like Severus Snape. In fairness, that second figure is close. They got the nose perfect, they got the scar, they got the hair. There's something that's just not quite right yet. I feel like the cheeks need to come out some. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but we need to improve Kylo Ren so that we have something redeeming from the sequel trilogy. Coming in at number 5 is Jyn Erso. She was released in 2016 as part of the Red Line and is figure number 22. Face scan technology was not being used yet when Rogue One came out and this figure came out, and you can tell because this looks nothing like Felicity Jones. Unless, of course, this is supposed to be Felicity Jones after a night out drinking a bunch of gin. Get it? Jyn Erso? Gin? Haha! Coming in at number 4 is Luke Skywalker. Luke's had more figures released than I can possibly name or count, and that makes sense because he is probably the one through line between all 3 trilogies, well, the Skywalkers, but really him and Anakin, that make up the Star Wars saga. So it would only make sense that he would have the most iterations. The majority of the Lukes that were released early in the line have already been redone, like the thumbnail picture you saw before you clicked on this video, where you saw the before and after Jedi Luke Skywalker. That said though, there are two glaring exceptions. The first is Farm Boy Luke. This was released in 2016 and is figure number 21 in the red line. I don't even know who this is supposed to be. I mean, they got the hair right. They got the hair color right. But again, the face portrait, it's not there, folks. And this is probably the most iconic Luke Skywalker look, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't start with this one when it came to updates. The next one we need is the Stormtrooper Luke. I have to go with that Stormtrooper Han I already said needs updated. This looks like Mark Hamill after a night. Maybe he was out drinking with Jyn Erso having gin, because he looks rough. That's like rough night Mark. Just a fair warning, Hasbro, do not mix up Farm Boy Luke with another famous farm boy.
Farm boy, polish my horse's saddle.
As you wish.
Coming in at number 3 is Dinda Djarin, or Dinda Jyn, or I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I just like saying Jyn. There's no Jyn in there. This came out at the end of 2020. It was a Target exclusive and everybody wanted it. And I'm kind of confused why, because once that helmet came off, it did not look like Pablo Pascal. Frankly, it looks too fat. I mean, first off, the hair is too moppy. I don't remember any of the scenes where he took his helmet off, his hair being that moppy. I mean, he looks like he's got Samwise Gamgee hair going on here. And then I don't know what's up with the weight gain. Did the COVID-20 hit Mandalore? It's odd though, because despite being not that great, it's still highly sought after by like almost everyone, except me. Because I think we all know what needs to happen here.
Liposuction? Liposuction, see? Suck in the cheeks!
Coming at number 2 is Leia Organa. Just like Luke Skywalker, she is one of the main characters all the way through the entire, I don't know, trilogy of trilogies. And we've gotten a ton of figures of her over the years. And a lot of them have been updated, but a lot of them have not. If we go back and look at some of the earlier figures, it's really apparent that the face scans were not being used yet. We start off looking at the 2013 orange card release Slave Leia. Calm down, boys, calm down. I don't even know what to say about those eyes. Like, the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at those eyes is the scene in The Mask where Jim Carrey lays his eyes on Cameron Diaz for the first time, and his eyes pop out of his head. That's what that looks like. 2 years later, we got a Bouch, again, speaking, Leia, that was actually, in my opinion, a huge improvement over the Slave Leia, but that's not really saying much. This one has like a Mulan face going on, but it's closer to Carrie Fisher than the Hutt Slayer Leia was. I'd be remiss to not mention the Princess Leia version from A New Hope. This came out in 2016, and the first one was so bad that they had to make a running change to make it not look like hot garbage, but I don't see much of a difference. I mean, it's not hot garbage, but it's certainly not good. And just like Farm Boy Luke is the most iconic Luke Skywalker, this is the most iconic Princess Leia. But since we did just get this recently updated, even though it's not a great update, I'd say it's not a priority. Let's work on Hutt Slayer Leia. Calm down, boys. Let's work on Bouch Leia. And let's not forget, we already have some really good Carrie Fisher face scans. I was really impressed with the Hoth Leia we got a few years ago, or last year. I don't know, time runs together. Coming in at number 1, the worst face scan we have gotten, the one that needs replaced the most, is Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith. This is a mistake that was made twice. We got them both in the orange and the blue box with a slightly different face. Both of these look like a cross-eyed Ewan McGregor dealing with various stages of constipation, and both need desperately to be erased from my memory forever. This is actually pretty simple to solve. Just retool the head that came on the Clone Wars Obi-Wan, which is actually one of my favorite Black Series of all time, and boom, problem solved. If you want to learn exactly where it falls on my list of top 10 Black Series, check out this video right here. Till next time, remember, it's okay to get old, but you don't have to grow up. Just be cool and stay nerdy.